The following is a paid presentation by Guthrie-Rinker Corporation.
Over the last 2 years, nearly 100 million people have experienced the inspiration and power of a remarkable man named Anthony Robbins. Through television, books, audio cassettes, and sold-out seminars across North America, Anthony Robbins has helped over 1 million people to dramatically increase the quality of their lives. What is it that motivates professional athletes, U.S. Army sharpshooters, medical doctors, members of Congress, Hollywood celebrities like Casey Kasem, best-selling authors like Ken Blanchard, executives from IBM and American Express, school teachers, students, and other unique individuals just like you to seek out the knowledge of this 31-year-old man? The answer is simple. He produces results. And whether you want to master your finances, your emotions, your personal relationships, or your physical body, the answers you seek are here for you now.
Welcome to Personal Power with Anthony Robbins. 30 days to unlimited success. Brought to you by Guthrie-Rinker Corporation. Hosted by Martin Sheen.
Hello, I'm Martin Sheen. You know, television can be used as a weapon or it can be used as a tool. It often entertains us, but rarely does it offer us the opportunity to make a measurable difference in the quality of our lives. This program is unique. It really offers you the chance to make changes in minutes that you may have thought would take months or even years. I know, because I've met thousands of people whose lives it has touched. And guess what? I'm one of them. I first met Tony Robbins about 1.5 years ago because one night my wife, Janet, did exactly what you're doing right now. She watched this television program and in the middle of it took action and ordered the Personal Power System. That's what brought Tony Robbins into our lives. And thank goodness, because I've never ordered a product through television before and my skepticism would have caused us to miss out. Today, Tony Robbins and his work have helped us to experience more passion, more joy, and more excitement than we ever thought was possible. And most importantly, we've begun to tap into that unlimited potential which all of us possess. Oh, and in case you're wondering what I'm being paid to host this program, let me assure you, not one thin dime. I volunteered. I volunteered because I want you to know that Tony Robbins is real. His character and his integrity are genuine, and his technology really works. So, my compensation for being here comes from the personal results that I've already experienced in my own life, and the certainty that exposing you to his technology can really help you to change your entire life as well. So stay with me, will you? And together let's explore the unlimited possibilities of our lives. Let's meet Anthony Robbins.
The biggest reason why people don't succeed in life is they have these goals. They want to make these changes, but they do the same things over and over again. One person once said the definition of insanity is doing the same things again and again and expecting a different result. And I think that's what most people do. It's like a fly trying to get out of here. It keeps hitting the glass, and it's efforting. But you know what? Motivation is not enough. You can have all this drive and effort, but you got to have a better strategy. You got to be able to go out the door instead of keep hitting the glass. So what we're showing people here is how to break their pattern and develop a strategy that can produce consistent results.
At the age of 31, Tony Robbins is truly an American phenomenon. His first book, Unlimited Power, was an instant national bestseller and is now published in 11 languages around the world. Demand for his new book, Awaken the Giant Within, made it an overnight bestseller. Today, his nationwide seminars are standing room only and are often sold out months in advance. I can tell you as a personal friend that Tony lives life with passion. He's a skydiver and competitive racer. He's an accomplished helicopter pilot and scuba diver, and he holds a black belt in Taekwondo. But most importantly, Tony is a loving and caring family man, deeply committed to making a difference. His Anthony Robbins Foundation mobilizes professionals around the country to use their resources to help those less fortunate, specifically touching the lives of our nation's prison population, our children, the elderly, and the homeless. Right now, let's meet some of the people who have used and benefited from the Personal Power program. Casey Kasem is one of the most popular radio and television personalities of all time, known to millions around the world for his famous Top 40 countdowns and for his tireless contributions to the community. Casey is an avid Personal Power listener.
To use the language of the countdown, we have the top 40, we have the top 10, and we have number 1. Tony is definitely in the #1 category, and he's beyond that. You put him in a class with the Stones and the Beatles and a Michael Jackson and a Frank Sinatra and so on, because he's bigger than the charts. He's somebody you're going to remember because of what he said, how he's impacted your life, how he's empowered you to be more than just what you are, no matter how successful you are. He's #1 with a bullet.
One of the most successful authors and lecturers in the area of human relations, Barbara DeAngelis, has written 2 #1 bestsellers, including Secrets About Men Every Woman Should Know. Each day, she reaches hundreds of thousands of people through her radio and television programs.
Tony is a bold person. His message is very bold. His delivery is very outrageous. And I think that there's some deliberateness in that from his side, because he is trying to get through years of numbness, years of lethargy, years of lack of belief in oneself. And it takes an earthquake sometimes to wake people up. So he's like a walking earthquake.
Meet former New York City policeman John McCormick, who one day exerted his personal power and began his own business. Today, Visible Changes is one of the fastest growing companies in America. In fact, John was recently honored by Inc. magazine as, quote, the hottest entrepreneur in America. John was so influenced by Tony Robbins that he ordered 150 sets of the personal power tapes for his company.
I come from the half of the class that made the top half look good. Now, what was I supposed to become? Do you think that I would ever be allowed to have a dream of becoming a millionaire in this country? No. They told me civil service. That's why I went on the police department. Hey, I was in the bottom half of the class. I could never account to be anybody special in this world because I couldn't do it in school. Well, Tony taught me, hey, you know what? That's a lot of nonsense. Who taught you that? Somebody made $20,000 a year? They didn't know what they were talking about. I know what I'm talking about. I agree with Tony. He does know what he's talking about. I know this stuff works, and I know that most of America has been sold short.
I'm sure by now you know Hall of Fame quarterback Fran Tarkenton, who set NFL records which may never be broken. But what you may not know is that Fran Tarkenton has been profoundly influenced by Tony Robbins. In the 3 years since they met, Fran's computer software company has gone public on Wall Street. He's found new joy in his personal relationships, and he kicked a 20-year tobacco habit. In their continuing series of television interviews about personal power, Fran and Tony meet once again at Tony's home, the famous Del Mar Castle overlooking the Pacific near San Diego.
Tony, I'm so glad to be back with you.
It's great to be with you too, Fran.
You know, we started this thing out 3 years ago, and over 100 million people have watched our show. Over 1 million people have benefited from this technology and used this technology everywhere I go. I was playing golf with the Vice President of the United States last fall and a couple of professional golfers, and they were telling me, the golfers were, that they were using your technology. It was helping them in their golf game. You know, I work with major corporations all across the country. One of the top scientists with IBM are telling me, you know, this has been helpful to him. I'm stopped in airports, on the street, with people, working people, saying, this technology has benefited me. And then they ask me, where did this all emanate from? Where does Tony Robbins come from? How did this start? How did he get so smart? How did you get so smart?
I appreciate the compliment. I think that we're all smart if we learn by other people's experience. I'm a big believer that success leaves clues. In other words, if someone out there has achieved anything in their life, they've got a better relationship, they've done better financially than you have, they've got a better career, they feel more happy in their lives every day, they're doing something. They aren't lucky. They're doing something, and they're doing it consistently. So what I've spent most of my life doing is finding achievers and finding out what is it they're doing that's getting the result. And I did it primarily out of my own pain. Early on in my life, I found myself being both financially broke, but worse, I was emotionally broke. I felt like my problems were permanent. I moved in a little 400-square-foot bachelor apartment in Venice, California, with no kitchen, washing my dishes in the bathtub, and I ate myself into oblivion. I gained 38 pounds in 2.5 months. I got to the point where I felt nothing could shift me. But then I got so much pain, fortunately, I got motivated. And I think in life you need either inspiration or desperation. I got desperate enough that I said, I've got to change. And how I did it specifically is I said, who was fat like me and became thin and has stayed thin? Because they didn't just go on a diet, they changed how they thought about food, what they linked to food. I did the same thing. I lost my weight within 60 days. I looked around and say, who's done well financially, started with nothing like me? Somebody who was broke but really built financial wealth by adding value to other people's lives. And I figured out how that person did it. In less than a year, I went from being totally broke, trying to make a $500 a month payment, to literally having over $1 million net worth. Now, I don't tell you that to impress you, but to impress upon you and everyone else that we need to realize we can change our whole life in a moment by making some new decisions. But in order to do that, we got to know what controls our emotions and our behaviors, because our actions are truly what shape our destiny, and we got to take control of that to change our lives.
This guy's onto something. He has figured out not only how to communicate well, but also how to persuade others to act, to take the first step toward change for the better.
I didn't really think it was going to be possible for me to ever really be a thin, active, healthy person again. I was 70 pounds overweight, 235 pounds, the heaviest I'd ever been in my life. But I got the program and I started listening to the tapes, and almost immediately I started to see some results. In the first week I lost 5 pounds, the first month I lost 20 pounds. And in a 4-month time period I lost 70 pounds, and I've kept it off ever since then and feel great.
What you're telling me, and then you found out personally that a person could change their own life. There were some techniques, some things that you could do to make your life more wholesome or fulfilled or happy.
The most important basic understanding that you and I can have that can change our behavior is that everything you and I do as people, we do either out of our need to avoid pain or out of our desire to gain pleasure. And I know it sounds like an oversimplification, but think about it. All of our behaviors are based around that. If you do something like you smoke or you drink or you eat, you do it as a way to get out of pain, the pain of frustration or upset or overwhelm, and it gives you some pleasure. Now, you know it has some negative side effects, but it's the only way you know how to get to pleasure consistently. If we're going to change our lives then, we've got to link pain to, let's say, smoking or to drinking. Much more pain. And we have to link pleasure to a new way of doing it. Invariably, though, people say, well, I'm going to go on a diet. Well, diets are painful. You know, it's never going to last because you're going to go back and eat again. What you have to do is link pain to the foods that you don't want to eat so that you don't have to think about it, but you condition yourself so those foods, you have no desire for them. And you got to replace it with something pleasurable. I know, for example, you chewed tobacco for how many years?
20 years. And when we first met 3 years ago, I was chewing tobacco. I mean, every day of my life, 12, 14 hours a day. Chewing tobacco was my best friend. I would rather do tobacco than have sex. Isn't that a terrible thing to say? It was true. Everywhere I went, if I was in a hotel room, I could put the chew in my jaw, and it was my best friend. But finally, I started thinking about pain, pleasure. Really, chewing tobacco was giving me more pain than pleasure. It may cause mouth cancer. It didn't taste very good. Aftertaste was awful. Food didn't taste as good. So I quit chewing tobacco. I made a conscious decision to stop.
How does it make you feel?
I feel great now, but I've replaced a lot of that pleasurable things with a better relationship, more fun in business. My whole life has changed because of it, because I've now got control of myself, and the tobacco doesn't have control of me now. And I have no need to chew tobacco anymore. I have no desire to chew tobacco anymore, and that really feels good.
The key that you just said is, see, a lot of people try and make change by willpower, and rarely will willpower work long term. In the short term, it'll work. But the reason is willpower is you're saying, I feel this pain, but I'm going to do it anyway. What you got to do is make it so you don't feel the pain. See, advertisers understand the power of conditioning our minds and emotions to feel certain feelings towards a product. They know that if we link to getting out of pain to using their product, or if we can link lots of pleasure to using their product, we'll do it again and again, even though our brain may know better. For example, we know we shouldn't eat chocolate, and we go, oh, intellectually I know I shouldn't do it. It's not good for me, but we stuff our face with it anyway many times. Well, the advertiser knows if he's going to sell you some beer, he can't do that intellectually. What does he do? He doesn't bring a guy out, grabbing his buddy by his head, beating him on the head, burping on him, saying, I love you, little buddy. Instead, what does he do? He brings out a woman who unzips his clothing, and all of a sudden she's in a bikini, and she's holding the can. Until pretty soon the feelings that people have towards an attractive woman get linked to the beer. So my first question is, if she's drinking beer, she sure doesn't look like that, does she? We have to learn to condition ourselves, though. And what we teach in this program over a 30-day period is how to find out what is it you want exactly. What's preventing you from getting there? What's the plan you need to achieve it? Who can be a good role model? And then how do you overcome your fears so that every day you take the actions that are necessary? And we show you how to make a small change each day for 30 days. So each day you build on the day before until you finally are producing the results that you're committed to in your life. And you not only succeed in changing your body and your emotions and your finances, but you enjoy the process. And nobody wants to change if it's painful. But if it's fun, anybody's willing to do it, and we make it fun.
The process is really very simple. It's like, of course. You hear him and you go, wow, what a concept. You know, I can do that, and you do it, and it works, and you're willing to try something else right away.
He gives you a systematic way of succeeding. So many people have theories and ideas and philosophies, but who has the system, the process, the procedure to develop the momentum that's going to bring success to you?
Tony Robbins is one of those people who is making a difference and is going to make a difference. And you can't afford not to find out about what he's teaching and what he's doing.
There is a power that you and I can utilize virtually at any moment to change the quality of our lives. It's a power that's at our fingertips right now, but unfortunately few of us ever use it. The power I'm speaking of is the power of decision. Think about it. Isn't it true that any changes that you've ever made in your life literally happen in a moment? That it happened the moment you made a true decision where you cut off any other possibility except the thing you were committed to? The hardest part is getting yourself to decide. And that's because most of us are so afraid of making the wrong decision that we never make any decisions at all. We're afraid to make the wrong decision what to have for dinner, much less a life change. Personal power will help you to get clear about what you value most in the world, what you really want, so that now you can make the decisions that will unleash your actions. Actions shape our life, that's true, but all actions are fathered by decision. And I want to remind you that it's in your moments of decision that your destiny is shaped. I challenge you right now to make some decisions that can immediately increase the quality of your life.
So what do you really want? Better relationships, more energy and enthusiasm for your life. Would you like to make more money and actually achieve financial independence? Would you like to let go of your fears and doubts and learn to just go for it, to take action right now? Would you like to overcome procrastination and self-sabotage and live your life with passion? Now, for these things and more, Tony Robbins' breakthrough technology of success conditioning really works. It worked for Ken Blanchard, who took 15 strokes off his golf game after one session with Tony Robbins. It also worked for the U.S. Army, where Tony was hired to cut training times in half. It's worked for members of Congress, best-selling authors, actors, psychologists, athletes, and for hundreds of thousands of people just like you. Here's how it works. Tony Robbins has created 24 audio cassettes, each containing life-changing information that he teaches in his live seminars. Each day, you'll listen to one cassette, after which you'll take one simple action that will move you in the direction of achieving your true goals and desires. Every day, you'll build on the success of the day before, while mastering a breakthrough technology for your own consistent personal achievement.
Well, welcome to day 16, how to unleash your financial genius. This session, what I want to do is show you how to once and for all take control of your finances, not just by understanding what it is you want, by developing a specific plan.
Listening to these personal power tapes is like hiring Tony Robbins as your own personal success coach. Now, you might expect that a program like this would cost $300 or more. But because we're offering this directly through television, Personal Power can now be yours for only $179.95. With your Personal Power program, you'll also receive 4 subliminal audio cassettes recorded in state-of-the-art 3-dimensional sound. Plus, as a bonus, we'll send you the Success Journal for keeping a record of your daily progress, and these convenient summary cards for your daily use.
Choose the entire Personal Power program at the special price of $179.95. We'll even extend our 30-day money-back guarantee to 60 days, so you get to experience the results of the entire Success system.
Now, you have nothing to lose, so call now, and at least order this program and give it a try. You owe it to yourself to discover what Tony Robbins has to offer. And now you can do it risk-free by just making one phone call. Take action now. Go to your phone. Make the call. Believe me, you'll be very glad you did.
What you'll find in Tony's tapes is a variety of things. You'll find him whispering at times. You'll find him telling stories. On one tape, he does a 10-minute dialogue as a comedian that is as funny as anything I've ever heard. I mean, he can make you laugh, I mean, out loud. Knee-slapper kind of comedy. I think it's the 3rd or 4th tape that he does that. And that surprised me, because I thought he was funny, but I didn't think he was really funny, and he is. His ability to be loose, his ability to want to communicate, must come from his desire and enthusiasm and passion for wanting to help people. It comes across, and you can't fake that.
Last year, Minnesota high school teacher Gordy Olson saw Tony Robbins on television and decided to listen to the tapes with his 9th grade class. The results were dramatic.
I noticed after a week, 10 days, that students were really coming in more positive, smiles on their faces, relating to each other better. I saw certain students go from F's to B's, and it started to have a snowball effect. It started to, as others saw what was happening, other people started becoming more and more interested, so that by the time the semester ended, there were some real significant changes being made.
Meet 19-year-old actor and martial artist Ernie Reyes Jr., who starred in both of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movies, 2 of the biggest grossing films of the decade.
Thanks to Tony Robbins, I don't have to wait 20 or 30 years to do all the things that I'm dreaming of. It's a reality. I mean, I'm only 19 years old, and I'm already being able to be an associate producer on my own film. And that would have never happened without the Tony Robbins personal power tapes. I think for parents, it's the greatest investment that they can have for their child, and I know it has been for me.
All right, Tony, so many of our listeners out there, because I talk to them every day out on the streets. They've had disappointment, they've had failure, marriages haven't worked out, finances haven't worked out, they owe money, they got real problems. And they look at other people having success and almost say, God, success is for them, but not for me.
Yeah.
Can we help these people? Can these tapes help these people get out of where they are to more success?
Well, I think number one, these people have to help themselves. No one can do it for you. But what someone can do is coach you effectively. You know, there are a lot of people out there, sometimes people say, well, aren't you a guru? And then they're trying to give me a compliment. I said, please don't use that one, because a guru implies that you're going to do it for people. What I am is a good coach. A coach, number one, cares about you. Number two, they're an expert in their field. They spent their whole life to make key strategies and distinctions that they can save you years. They can get you to make changes in a matter of minutes that would have taken you months or years without their knowledge and without their skill. So on these tapes, what I try to do in each tape is be there in your car, be there next to you, and be your friend and tell you, okay, here's a change that you can make today. Here's the best way I know of how to do it from the best experts in the country. Now let's do it. We got to remember, the past has nothing to do with our present and future. What we decide today is what can change us. But you know, some people do, Fran. They go, well, but think of what might happen. You know, what if I screw up? What if it doesn't work out? What if I try this stuff and it doesn't work? What a lousy question. See, if we think about things that haven't even happened yet and feel bad about them in advance, we're really in trouble. What we have to do is control what we focus on and make sure we focus on what we can do. Take control of things that we can shape. There are things in our world we can't take control of, but there are more than enough we can control that can change the quality of our life literally in a minute.
Most of us go through life contemplating what life would be if we were more successful, richer, thinner, wiser. You have an opportunity to actually do something with your life with these tapes.
I have so much business now, I don't know what to do with it. But it's because I learned to expand and to stretch myself. And once I understood that, it's not a problem. So financially, I'm doing extremely well. I'm doing better now than I've done more in this last year than I have in the whole 9 years that I've been in practice.
Our volume tripled 300-400%. Probably 2 weeks after we started listening to Tony's tapes. We went from about $15,000 a month to $75,000 a month in sales. That's a dramatic increase. And we've been able to sustain that increase over the last 14 months.
I hope in this program you've been exposed to enough possibilities that you've begun to ask yourself a question. And that question simply is, what if? What if what this guy's been talking about could truly change the quality of my life? What if I could use it to stop putting things off and really take action and really increase the quality of my relationships, my physical body, my business, my income? What if I could eliminate all those limiting beliefs and really take a hold of that power that's inside me right now, really wake myself up and change my life and produce the results I'm committed to? If you're asking these questions, you're probably asking another one. Well, what should I do? Could this personal power program really increase the quality of my life? If you're asking that, you probably have said yes already. So the real question is, what are you going to do? Are you just going to think about it, or are you going to get yourself to do something? You and I both know that our life doesn't change until we really get ourselves to take action. And the most important actions are those that cause us to grow personally. We're not happy unless we feel like we're growing. So this is my invitation to you to join me in the pursuit of constant and never-ending improvement. This is an opportunity for you to challenge yourself to never settle for less than you can be. Take action now and begin to give yourself the rewards you deserve with the quality of life that you've always dreamed of.
Call now and order the complete Personal Power 30-day success system for only $179.95. You'll receive 24 audio cassettes, each containing life-changing information that Tony Robbins teaches in his live seminars. You'll get 4 subliminal audio cassettes recorded in 3D holophonic stereo, this success journal, and these convenient summary cards for your daily use. Plus, as a special bonus, you'll receive free a full 1-year subscription to the Robbins Research Newsletter, your personal connection to Tony Robbins.
Now, you need to know that this program is unique and that it works. No one interviewed in this show was paid to endorse this program. Each contributed their time and their reputation out of their desire to give something back for the incredible results they received. Now they want you to benefit as well. We're so convinced that Personal Power will give you the results you desire. It will take all the risk out of your making a decision now.
Choose the entire Personal Power program at the special price of $179.95 and use our 60-day money-back guarantee to judge for yourself the value of this personal success system. Please call now.
People ask me all the time, well, what about the cost of this and what about the cost of that? Well, the cost of this is $200, and that's a lot of money, except when you look at what is the cost of education and what is the cost of not having education. I'd much rather pay for my education than pay for my ignorance.
I don't know what you want from your life, but if you're anything like me, you're always looking for new ways to improve the quality of your life. I want you to know that I've seen the positive, ongoing effects of Personal Power on students and teachers, on chief executive officers and the homeless, on doctors and lawyers, priests, farmers, scientists and athletes, people from all walks of life. And believe me, Personal Power can work for you too. If you've ever felt overwhelmed or helpless, like nothing would ever work and things would never change, then please be ruled by this. Your past does not equal your future. The power to change is within you. All that's required to awaken it is a simple leap of faith. I took it. Over 1 million other people have done the same. And now this is your opportunity. So I challenge you to trust your instinct. It may be the very best part of you. If you take action now, I know this will be the beginning, not the end of our relationship. So on behalf of Guthrie Renker, Tony Robbins, and myself, thank you for joining us. And welcome aboard.
There are a lot of people who are parked along the road to success right now, and it's tempting. They know they want to get certain things done in their lives, but they just don't have either enough fuel in that gas or enough energy in their batteries to get it going again. He'll energize your battery for you. So no matter where you think you may be at this time and how happy you are with where you are, you may find that there's a lot more to life than you're living. Get these tapes, listen to them, and see if you don't get energized. See if you don't find a broader horizon.
Every success I have in my life has come because I've learned to tap into that spring of energy that's within every one of us. I hope you'll explore and discover that life really can be more passionate, that you can really make life the adventure it deserves to be.
This has been a paid presentation by Guthrie Renker Corporation. On the next Good Evening Star Trek Trivia, test your Enterprise know-how and discover fascinating facts from Kirk & Company, Monday at 7:30 on Channel 8.
I can say that I really love to fish for salmon, and I love to chase them and everything, but also, real deep down, I care about salmon. I want to see them live.
To help, call 229-5403.
I am happy I went to ITT Tech. It gave me self-confidence. I've used that self-confidence to build Ivy Homes, an $11 million company. When I was at ITT Tech, I never realized that I would be able to accomplish something this big. ITT Tech gave me the confidence to turn my dreams and hopes into reality.
Call ITT Technical Institute at 1-800-942-0088 for an informative brochure. That's 1-800-942-0088.
I'm Teresa Richardson from Channel 8's Good Evening. Wetlands and meadows, rivers and streams, and forests thick with wildlife. You can experience a piece of wilderness right in the city. Take a trip into nature and see your metropolitan green spaces. Pick up the current schedule of guided tours at Channel 8, Metro, a Portland General Electric Service Center, or call 22-GREEN. Visit your own backyard wilderness and get to know Mother Nature on a first-name basis.
Wrap up your weekend tonight on News 8 at 5.